Hey y'all, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Today I want to go over how my first year in business went. So I want to do this as a way to just like document my journey and then also show y'all that like what I went through. I created a spreadsheet to put all the information that I wanted to look at so I could see like month over month what happened in my business. So I just want to run through it with y'all. Um, because it's crazy how my year started and just reflecting back and seeing like what changes I made and then what impact that had to my business, and then after looking everything over, just how much clarity I got on what I needed to do to move forward in 2023. So I did a video on how I started my wholesale business. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But I'm going to start from the top of January 2022. And the first month of the year, we only have 488 people to the site. We had 3 orders and we made a total of $191.95, y'all. I was running some ads to just get my ads manager going and just get like eyes on my page, but not necessarily like to make sales or do anything like that. So February is when I started running conversion ads for my business, and this like skyrocketed. So we had almost 10 times the amount of traffic to the site. So 4,904 people. We had 38 purchases, and we made $3,581 and some change. Okay, so this was very exciting because I just started seeing like things start working. Like what I had put into place was working. And so that felt really good because when I had started Naturally Created for You, my retail business, I did things really backwards. I didn't know what I was doing. And so coming into this business, I had a much greater understanding of ads. I had a much greater understanding of marketing and branding and, talking to your target audience and all of those things. So like to see the results of work that I was doing and see that it was working, that was really, really exciting for me. And then March, we had about 2,000 more people to the site. We had 93 orders. We almost tripled our orders, and we made almost $9,500. So we were doing pretty well. March was March was crazy because it was my first month doing this, what I want to consider full time, because I had left working with my husband, but I was training his new hire the entire month of March and part of April and May. So to see what I was still able to do my first month as a true full-time entrepreneur for myself, that was super exciting. Like February was exciting because it was like, wow, I kind of did some things right this time compared to when I started my last business. But March, to see what I was able to, with the help of the Lord, obviously, but to see what I was able to do, it was just like so exciting to me because I was really nervous about stepping away from helping my husband's company and doing this company full time because, as you can see, in January, I hadn't made any money. And we didn't just randomly hire the person in March. Like this was a planned thing that she was going to start March 1st. And so, the sales was even less in December and November. So it was just very, very exciting. And I was proud. Like I was really proud in a good way. Proud of, what I was doing. In April, we had a little bit more traffic to the site. Um, we had 79 orders, so less orders, but we made almost $12,000. Like, it was my first month ever making five figures in just wholesale. The month before, we hit five figures between both businesses, but it was super exciting, y'all. Super exciting. I thought I had made it. Like, you're like, oh, if I could just get there, you made it. Like, I feel like as an entrepreneur, like making a first, having your first like 1K month, like that's so exciting. Or shipping your first 100 orders, or shipping an international order. Like making five figures in 1 month, like I thought I really did something. And I did. I did. You literally couldn't tell me anything. Like, I was so hype. I started realizing that, Instagram was more where my buying audience was than Facebook. I was running Facebook and Instagram ads, but like I started noticing more people are shopping on Instagram. I have more of a community on Instagram, and that's because I was more engaged. I went live and I just posted there frequently. But yeah, I was super, super excited. One thing that happened in April that was a fail is I did a webinar, and it was a webinar regarding website tips. Okay. And I actually hosted a 3-day free event to share this information, and then I was going to sell the replay. I had a very, very, very low turnout for this webinar. Hardly nobody showed up, and it was free. And so then I went to launch it, and it was not a very successful launch. Let's just say that. So I'll share that because this was a month that was like a month that I made the most money I ever had. But this was also a month to where I started shifting my focus a little bit from promoting the sample boxes that I used to sell. I used to sell these little sample boxes that were like, they started off at like $35, but then they went up to like $45 or something. I can't remember exactly, but they had like mini samples of all of our products, and they were a huge hit, but they were just so time consuming because they were little itty bitty samples, and I couldn't keep up with it. So we discontinued it, but I shifted from focusing so heavily on those, and I took time to create this webinar and promote that, and it just really didn't result in anything. Okay, so it's important to note that in May, we had a little over 9,000 people to the site. We had 94 purchases, so we had more people to the site, more purchases, but we did not make more. We only made $9,611.93. Okay. One thing I want to note about this month is because I was trying to hit five figures again, I was increasing my ad spend, hoping that, because in business, you have to understand that in order to generate sales, you have to get people to your website, and only a percentage of those people are actually going to convert to sales. So the more people you can get to your website, the more opportunity you have to make a sale. Okay. But I made less money. And so what happened in May when I went back to reflect is I told y'all I stopped doing them little sample boxes, and we rolled out these new sample boxes to where I think maybe that's when we increased our price. No. Yeah, we changed up the pricing a little bit, and we separated it. So we had like a sample box, and then we had another sample box that just had our Yoni products in it. And I don't think that went over as well. That month, I also joined an email marketing membership because I started seeing the power in email marketing and identifying some of my weaknesses and like areas I needed to improve. And I had already been following someone to help me with this. So I just joined her mentorship. It's no longer available now, but she helped me significantly with email marketing. So that's just important to note that I got more people to my website, more orders, but I made less money. So that hurts, right? It's like, okay, I got more people, I have more orders, but I made less money. How does that happen, right? Our average order value decreased by like $40 that month. So that is a major reason of why we made less. And I believe it's due to the new samples that we introduced. June, we didn't run as many ads. We got about 7,080 people to the site. We had 66 orders, so we had a third less orders because we didn't get as many people to the site. And we made less. We made $8,223.30. So we made less. And this really hurt me, y'all. This really hurt me. And I'm sharing this because if I would have been documenting this throughout the year, maybe it would have been different. But I didn't document all of this until December. I had an idea of what was going on in my business. I looked at my numbers almost every day. I was well aware of, the money that I was spending, the money that I was making, all of that. But I wasn't fully tracking the activities that I was doing, okay? And so when I went back after looking at this and inputting all the numbers, I put notes down of what products did I launch that month? What was I focused on? What was I doing? And this is, if I was doing this, it may have been different. But this is my journey. This is what I've experienced, and maybe you can learn from it. And this has helped me figure out how I need to move a little bit different in 2023. Not that I was moving wrong. We're all on our own entrepreneurship journey trying to figure it out for ourselves, but documenting and keeping track of what you're doing so you can know, like, hey, I did this and these results happened, or they didn't happen. That's really important to know. So in June, I got rid of all them little samples and I launched full-size samples. Okay. They did not go as well as them little bitty samples. I can tell you that right now. They did not go as well. I also launched another webinar that was an even worse fail. It was even worse fail, y'all. I launched a product teaching like how to analyze your website data, how to analyze your email marketing data, how to analyze your social media data. And when I tell you, that wasn't even, I apologize. My website tip one, that was a one-day thing that I invited people to. And I think maybe like 4 or 5 people showed up. This is the one that I did a 3-day event for, y'all. Sorry. This is the one I did a 3-day event for, y'all, and hardly nobody came. I think the first day was like 3 people. The second day was like 1 person. And the third day, like nobody even came. So I ended up launching the product, and like I have had very, very, very little sales for this product. And that's why we decided to discontinue this product. But I share this because I was focused on launching something that nobody was even really interested in, even though I think it's super important. And I feel like that's why a lot of businesses don't really know what's going on in their business, because they don't know how to analyze their business data. They don't know what to look for. But nobody was really feeling this product. Nobody purchased it. I put a lot of time into creating it and doing it and launching it. And it did not go as planned. And I feel like I stopped focusing so much on promoting my skincare, and I was just trying to like find ways so that I could generate sales for my business, but not have to make so many products and ship so many orders. And so I kind of had a mindset shift that affected my business in a negative way. July came, we had a little bit more people to the website, less than 500 more people to the website. We had a few more orders. We had 71 orders in July, and we made about the same amount as June. We made just about the same amount. In July, we launched our coffee scrubs. That really gave me some confidence back, because y'all, when I tell y'all, and this is just real, this is me being 100% real. When I tell y'all, going from hitting 5 figures a month for the first time ever to the next month not being able to match that, to the next month making less, and then the next month making just about the same, I was hurt. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I can't take it. Why am I not able to duplicate that, right? So July, I launched my coffee scrubs. That item sold out the first day. It was so exciting. It was like one of my most successful launches. I had a very successful launch before, but it was super successful. I also launched a playbook of how to start a skincare business. That was very successful. That product is really, really amazing and great for anyone who's wanting to start a skincare business but just doesn't know what to start, or doesn't know how to start, if you will. So July was an amazing month, like launch wise, especially from the month before when I had that very, very crappy launch. But in the back of my mind, I'm still like, man, why could I not make more, right? And so August, we had less people to the website. We had about 6,700 people to the website. We had a couple less orders, and we made $6,766. So we made even less. Y'all, this was my worst month. February, I made less money, but it was so successful because that was like the start, right? That was like the starting point. But August was my, I take that back. August wasn't my worst month, but overall, it was my worst month, because it was just like, dang, what is going on? Like, I went from making almost $12,000 to $9,600 to about $8,200 back to back. And now I'm at $6,766. Like, what is going on? That's what I kept thinking. Like, I was so fixated on sales. I was so fixated on sales. It was actually very toxic. Okay. I do not recommend this. I was very fixated on sales and just trying to figure out like what is going on. I ended up spending, so the 2 months that I was making like 8,200 or so, I was only spending like a little over 20% of my sales that I made back into ads, right? Well, I was getting so desperate, y'all, that I nearly doubled my ad spend and made even less money. Like I was just so desperate to chase, is what I was doing, to chase that, you know, that five figures again. It really, really toxic, really, really toxic. When I sit back and look over all of this, I have learned so much, and the revelation that I got and what God did at the end of 2022 for me is incredible. But it's really sad when I sat back and really looked at what I did and what can happen when you lose focus of what you are actually in purpose for. You're not really in purpose to make money. You're in purpose to make an impact, and as a result, money, you get money, and then hopefully you are a good steward of that money in your business, and you're giving and everything like that. But God did not give me this business to make $10,000 a month. He didn't give me this business to be fixated on sales. But that's what society and social media starts to have you think, that like, if you don't hit this, then you're not doing a good job, or this determines your level of success if you hit this certain amount. And I was just so desperate and then devastated because I wasn't achieving it again. And it was just this constant like wheel that I was on. It was awful. It was awful. Highly recommend not focusing and getting so fixated on, oh, I gotta make this much. I do not recommend. All right, so August, what happened is I launched starter kits. So I launched this premium kit that it was our most expensive product. You got like samples, you got multiple digital products, and then you also got a consultation call. So I wanted to create something for people who just wanted like an all-in-one package of everything, and also have a call so that we can talk one-on-one about things. So I launched that, and that didn't go very well because I don't think people were, it was like shell shock with the price because it was our most expensive product. So most of our wholesale products range between, on average, probably between $50 to $125, like for wholesale products. Our samples, they were ranging, at the time we were selling them by the collection, and they were anywhere from $48 to $64. So this product, I think I started it, it was like between $300 and $400 when I first started it. And I think people were just shell shocked, like, whoo, that's a lot. So I wasn't upset that not a lot of people were buying it. I also didn't like have a launch for it. I just added it to the website just for when people would ask me. That would be something I would recommend because it is a really great way to start your business, but you do have to invest into it. So I also launched a new product. Y'all, this is embarrassing. But I gotta be honest. So I also launched a new product, how to make $1,000 in a month, because I felt like a lot of my audience was in business. So I have a mixture of people. I have people who are in business who are really struggling to get their business together. And then I have people who really want to start a business but don't know what to do. So I created this for people who were in business and were just didn't have the proper things in place for marketing and selling to just make $1,000 a month. So I created this. It was a program, y'all, and I have to share the testimony on this in some video, but I created this product. It was a program. It was a 4-week program where we were going to meet one time a week for an hour each time. And I polled my audience and they were like, yes, I need that. And I even told them that the cost was going to be $50. And they want to do it, right? Okay, so I put together this whole thing, right? Launched it, talked about it for like 5 days, and because it was going to be starting in like a week or something, right? Y'all, did nobody join. I think like one person ended up joining, but by that time I had already got so much clarity on how that was not what I was supposed to do. And so I ended up refunding them the money because I'm like, I ain't doing that. I was devastated over that whole experience. So again, I put a lot of time and effort into something that like did not result in anything. So this is a recurring thing for what happened to me is I was putting a lot of time and effort into products that my audience really wasn't going to buy. And I was kind of mad because I'm like, y'all said that y'all wanted this, but then it didn't, like, nobody did it, but it was all for a reason. I believe everything happens for a reason, so that we can, learn, grow, have more faith, whatever the reason, but there is a reason. So anyways, that whole thing was a flop. And I also launched some more products. I launched my face oil. I launched my face oil, and that went pretty good. And then I also, for the first time ever, I created a landing page. So if y'all aren't familiar, like you have a website, but then you have landing pages that are specific to one thing. So maybe it's specific for a certain product, maybe it's specific to a collection, maybe it's specific to a launch that's coming and you're trying to collect emails. So I created a landing page for my bestseller, my turmeric scrub, and it was really all just a test. So I ran ads for it. I created the page. I had a special email flow for it. It was a whole production. I spent a lot of time on this too. A lot of time. And it didn't result in much. And I really didn't want to put more money into getting people to the page, nor did I want to keep testing different things for it, because I had already kind of knew what was working. And so this was just kind of like a project. I was trying to see what would happen. A lot of 2022, y'all, I just did stuff and it all made sense in theory, but sometimes it didn't work out. As y'all can see, some of the stuff I did worked really well and some of the stuff did not work hardly at all. So that was one thing. It did not work well. I put the word flop twice in August. Our how to make 1K in 1 month was a flop. And then this landing page idea that I had was a flop. Now, if I was to do a landing page again, I would probably do it differently. But this was my first time and I was tired of fooling with it, y'all. So then we go down to September. Sorry, I spent a lot of time on August because it was really what I consider my worst month in business, because there was just a lot of things that went wrong. And In September, we had a little less traffic to the page. We had less orders, but we made more. We made over $1,000 more. So we made $7,821 and some change in September. So September, what we did is we had a big Labor Day sale. So we had 15% off bulk skincare. That was a sale. And then this was very exciting, y'all. So in September, y'all, God is so good. He is so good. Even coming back from August when it was like the worst month that I had experienced thus far to September, like it was like a breath of fresh air almost. I felt like I had just got a little bit of myself back from August. So September, we had our Labor Day sale. We had the 15% off bulk skincare, which did very well. And then, so I didn't, the how to make 1K in a month, I completely just said, X, we ain't doing that. And I took all the information that I was going to be, y'all, God is so good. He is so good. I took all the information that I was going to pour into that 4-week program. I was going to charge $50 for it for 4 weeks for 1 hour every single week. That is very, very, very inexpensive when you're talking about getting one-on-one, being in a one-on-one setting and getting to ask questions and get information. That's very, very inexpensive, okay? I took all that information and I put it into a digital product, how to make more sales. And we have that available now. And that is, I think it's about $50 maybe. I think it's at like $49. So, I learned a very valuable lesson in August. And I'm not going to get into the entire story, but in addition to launching that digital product, I also launched my group mentorship. So I also want y'all to know that, like, even when you have a bad month, even when you're like at your wit's end, go back and pray. Go back and look at what happened. I did a lot of praying in August because I was really hurt. I was like, Lord, you gave me this idea and I sat here and I put this whole thing together, and then everybody said that they was going to show up and everybody said they wanted to come and learn this information, and I put it all together and nobody came. And I just like, I don't want to use like the word like depressed because I don't want to say that it was really at that level, but like I was really going through it mentally. Like I just could not piece together like why that happened. But come September, and after I had a chance to really think and talk to some different people, I don't know about y'all, but like there's certain people in my life that I talk to, and God like gives them what they need to tell me, for me to get some clarity. I have a friend that, God uses her to let me know that I'm on the right track. Like it's crazy. So if y'all ain't got no people like that, like pray that God sends you some people like that, because these few people that I have, I'm telling you, when I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I'm like, let me call them, because I know every time I call them, I know they are going to not tell me what I want to hear. God is going to use them to speak to me. And so I got so much clarity from my failures in August that come September, I launched that new digital product, and I also launched a group mentorship, okay? And then October. So October was a really exciting month. I also want to say, around this time, a lot of companies, I would say even before October, like companies start dumping a lot of money into ads. And so I couldn't compete as much. All right. And so it was costing, like, I could spend the same amount, but it was costing more to get results. Okay, so for instance, maybe in April you could spend $1,000 in ads, and these are just random numbers just to make a point. But maybe in April I could have spent $1,000 and got in front of 5,000 people or something, right? October, you could spend that same $1,000 and maybe only get in front of like 3,000 people. Okay, so the cost of running ads went up because so many businesses were dumping more money into ads and increasing the cost because of the holidays. So in October, I got less people to the website. We had about the same amount of orders. And this is because we ran well, first of all, we launched our CMOS collection, so that was exciting. And then we hosted our first Black Friday sale. So in October, I wanted to host a early Black Friday sale so that my customers could get their wholesale products for a discount so that they could go and have more profit in their products for when they ran their sale. Because if they were to buy my products at full price and then go sell them for Black Friday at a sale, you ain't probably gonna make very much. So I had a pre-Black Friday sale. So that I could, help them out. So that was exciting. And we made a little over $8,400. And it was most exciting because I hit my goal. I had a Black Friday goal. Halfway through the Black Friday sale, the pre-Black Friday sale, I had already hit the goal, and so I doubled it, and I was super scared. I was just like, oh, let me double it. And then I ran it from like Friday to Monday, right? So Saturday, we was already halfway to the goal. Or no, we had already hit the goal. I think the goal was like $2,000 I wanted to make. And so by Saturday, we had already hit the goal. So I was like, all right, I'm going to double it. Like, we gonna see. And so I doubled it. And then Sunday, we hardly did any sales. And I was like, I can't believe it. Like, why did I double it? And then Monday came around. Monday was a great day in sales. And I went to bed and we hadn't hit the sale yet. We hadn't hit the goal yet. And I prayed. I was like, Lord, if it's your will, I'll hit it. If it's not, I'll be okay. I woke up in the middle of the night and I hit the goal. And that was just really comforting to me because, as you can see, I have been going through it for a few months. So to see the numbers start going up from the 6,766 back in August, and then September, to see it go up to about 7,800, to then about 8,400 in October. It was like, we on the up and up. We on the up and up. So it was very exciting. Then November came and we got kicked back down. Y'all, 2022 was a year. It was a year. So November came, we had a little less traffic, about the same amount of orders for the most part, give or take a few. And then we made a little under $1,000 less. Okay. And so November happened and I was expecting to make even more because I'm like, oh, this is the real Black Friday. This is the real Black Friday. Like, we about to ramp this thing up, right? And I had lowered my ad spend from September. I was spending about, because I told you I was getting desperate. So like August, I had spent about 37% of my sales and ads, or yeah, my sales went to ads. In September, about 36% of my sales went to ads. And I just couldn't keep up. I was like, look, the holidays with the saturation with all these big companies coming out, like I just was like, I'm gonna spend about 20%. So November, I was set. I was like, I ain't about to go broke running no ads, trying to compete with these big brands. Like, it is what it is. So November came, we made a little under $1,000 less, and I had the Black Friday sale, and it did not go as planned. Okay, it didn't go as planned, and here's why. Because this was my first time really doing Black Friday, and so I didn't really know what to expect. Well, after having my pre-sale in October, I was thinking that everybody would come back and shop again in November. I was thinking that it was just gonna all work out. And I didn't realize that people, everybody who shopped, like maybe they didn't need to come back and shop again, or I don't know, but like it didn't go as planned. Like I didn't hit my goal. It didn't go as planned. Another thing, I discontinued the ready to label glass dropper bottles for the body oils. We didn't do that anymore. And then I launched my VIP group, which is a private group on Facebook where I post tips and strategies. It's $5 a month, and I launched that, and that did very well. That's doing very well. But it was just like another slap in the face, pretty much. Like, oh, you thought you were doing well? Not well enough. Like, I was just kind of hurt again, thinking that, I was going to have like this crazy Black Friday. And again, just chasing, what I had already done again, done previously. Just, how can I make that much money again? It really is what it was. And yeah, that's what happened. So then December came, the last month of the year. And December, I had got extremely close to hitting $100,000 between both of my businesses. And I had a goal to try to do it for wholesale. And it's actually funny now that I look back and think about it, because the sales has started going down again. And I was going to have to make like over $20,000 or something for wholesale to hit like 100,000. But I was determined. I was like, oh, I can do it. So I like thought about all these different ways that I could, put together things to try to make the 100,000. And I got exhausted. And about halfway through December, I was like, well, maybe if I just make it for my businesses like total, that'll be all right. But then I said, forget it. I just was like, Lord, if it's your will, I'll hit it. If it's not your will, I won't hit it, and I'll be fine. And I felt that. I came to terms with that, I'll say, because initially I was like, I'm gonna be pissed, whatever. But when I said that prayer, I was at a point to where I was just like, Lord, I just want to do what you want. Like, I'm tired. And so I just prayed that prayer, and December came and December went. I spent a lot of time analyzing my business for 2022. I spent a lot of time creating spreadsheets so that I could be more organized. I spent a lot of time um, just getting things tight. I spent um, time reflecting, as you saw, where I just went through everything. I spent a lot of time reflecting, and I got very clear on 2023. And it was very important for all these things to happen, because one of the things that I learned is what actually worked in 2022 and what I need to focus on. So, what really worked is selling my skincare products. That works very well. It was when I started losing focus of that and started trying to find ways to sell my digital products and create create that stream of income in like the digital space, that it was like I was taking less focus off of the skincare in doing that. And as a result, like, one, it didn't work, and two, it was just a waste of time. Like, my time could have been better utilized, like creating strategies for how to get in front of more people, creating strategies to get more people in front of my skincare products is what I was trying to say. So yeah, that didn't work. Me being fixated on making money was very toxic, and I don't want to do that this year. So 2023, focus on selling my skincare. 2023, focus on just getting as many people as possible in front of this company, so that we can help them get their business started, we can help them grow their business, and most importantly, they can see what God is doing through this business. And hopefully God will use something that I say or something that's happened for me. That's my wish, that he will use me to impact other people, so that when they're running their businesses, one, they're not making all these same crazy mistakes, but two, you're not relying on Instagram or ads or people. You're really relying on God to guide you through your business. That's the best way. God gives you resources and stuff like that, but ultimately we want to make sure that we're doing what he wants, regardless of whether it's what we want or not. So the last part of December, I didn't really focus on anything. I actually didn't post anything, like, from Christmas to the New Year. I just kind of took a break, and just gathered myself and just sat down and got a game plan together. I do have another video that shows like what happened at the end of 2022 and what God did and showed me. It was just really beautiful to see how, after looking at how my year went and what my goals were and the prayer that I said and everything like that, to see how God used all of that to help me, to really help me. So I just want to leave y'all with this. Like, my 2022, it started off really strong. And when you look at the numbers, it's like, wow, it went up and down. And that's business. Business is going to go up and down. That's one thing that I really didn't understand. Like, I'm like, why can't it just keep going up? But business is going to fluctuate depending on the different times of the year, depending on what you got going on and what your customers got going on. Like, business is going to fluctuate. But just not being so fixated on making money and how can you make more money, and that's not what God wanted me to do. And being focused more on like the wholesale skincare side of things, that was that was I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of hard for me to accept because it can be a lot. It can be a lot. Which is why a lot of people don't want to make their products, right? They want somebody else to make it because it is time consuming. But I know that if I stay focused on my purpose, if I stay focused on just getting this company in front of more people, and if I stay focused on the skincare, I will tell you, since I've been focused on skincare, I've been able to sell more digital products. How crazy is that? Crazy, mind blown. It's crazy what God will do or not do based on what we're doing and where our mind is. There was a part of my business where I was relying very much on ads to be a driving source in my business instead of relying on God to be my driving source. There was a lot that happened in 2022. I'm grateful for all of it. I appreciate all of it. I am so happy that y'all are, here with me and being on this journey with me. I feel very blessed that God has given me this opportunity, and whatever your year last year looked like, or whatever this year, whenever you're watching this, like, don't get so fixated on money. That's what society wants us to be fixated on. Get back to being fixated on people and making an impact in a positive way. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I love y'all. And if y'all want me to do any other videos with different topics, let me know.